Alright, hello everyone, and I hope you are having a wonderful day so far. I am back with some more money-making methods so you can maintain your bond in old school Runescape. If this guide was at all helpful, or content like this interests you, please consider dropping a like and a subscribe. If you do, you would be an absolute legend. And with that, let's go ahead and get into these money-making methods. Okay, so the first method we're going to get into, you're pretty much going to need two things. You're going to need a little bit of starter cash, and you are going to need a combat bracelet. Okay, so for those that are unfamiliar with the Warriors Guild, it allows access to one of the best offhand weapons in terms of strength bonus in the Dragon Defender. However, we're not going there for that. We are going for the food shop. The only problem is that the Warriors Guild is actually level gated. To allow you entry, a player's attack and strength level must add up to at least 130 or have one of those skills at 99, and we cannot use boosts. Once we have that done, we can enter the guild, and we are going to go to Lidio's food shop. So we're going to rub our combat bracelet. Alright, we're going to enter here. And let's make our way towards the food shop. So you're just going to enter west, and then there's a nice little minimap notifier. Kind of looks like a piece of toast. And all we're going to do is go to trade. And you can see that this is a popular option for two reasons. One of which the one that we are doing right now in terms of money making. And then it is also really, really popular with Iron Men, because if we go to value, the potato with cheese and the plain pizza, it is really, really cheap feed. The stews are also pretty cheap as well, so it's a constant source of cheap food that you can keep a stock on. But what we are going to be doing is we're going to be buying these out and hop worlds, and we're just going to keep going through different worlds, checking his stock, and we're going to continue buying both the potato with cheese and the pizzas, specifically the potato with cheese, because that is going to get us the biggest return on our profit. So we're going to talk to him again, and so we're going to value the potato and cheese and plain pizza. So potato with cheese is 11 coins now, plain pizza is 52 coins. Obviously, once the stock goes down, it is going to cost a little bit more, but we're more than going to make up for that, because if we examine these pizzas and the potato with cheese, you can see that we've got a pretty nice little profit margin on both of these. Okay, so I did just switch and put in my cash stack, and I pulled out 100k. So we can see how much we can make on just a small budget. That way we can keep track of how much we are spending, and we can see more accurately how much profit this method is going to be. But like I said, I am going to go ahead. I'm going to start buying all these out, and I will see you shortly. Okay, so we've gone through about 45 minutes of world hopping, about 14k. And this is what we have. We've got 464 potato with cheese, 246 pizza. We will go to the Grand Exchange and we'll see what we can sell these for. Okay, so we're back here at the Grand Exchange, and we've got our food ready to sell. One thing I did want to point out is that I did a mix of the potatoes and pizzas. I could have easily just use that same time to go through and only get potatoes, since there's a higher margin, but it's a high enough margin that it didn't matter with the pizzas as well. So we're going to go ahead and chuck these in here, and we're going to see what we get. Okay, so they insta-sold. That is excellent. Alright, 126k and 116k.
Hello there.
Okay, so I just deposited the remaining cash that I had from the 100k stack, and we are left with 243k. So like I said, overall about an hour's work, really not too bad. If you have the patience for it, you can make a fair bit of money doing this method. So for this next money making method, it's actually going to require a little bit of capital. As you can see, I have my inventory full of rings of wealth, and what we're going to be doing is utilizing the Fountain of Rune. What the Fountain of Rune does is it gives you unlimited runes to cast pretty much any spell that you would like, in addition to recharging Dragonstone jewelry. There is a bit of a risk, obviously, going to the deep wilderness. However, we're going to be making our way there using free-to-play worlds, and we are going to be doing it on foot. The only downside to this method is it does require quite a bit of startup capital. I got 100 to see how much money we could make with just a few trips, and it set me back around 1.2 mil. So we will see if the margins are still there and if they are going to be worth making the risky trip out to the wilderness. So alright, so our rings just finished selling for 13,100 each, netting us a cool 1 mil and 310k, which is a total profit of about around 90k. So I don't know, for the time investment, it's doable. You know, there's really no requirements. All it takes is a trip to the wilderness and back. So if you've got the time and you've got a little spare money, it might be worth it. But yeah, honestly, I personally probably wouldn't recommend this a ton, but it works in a pinch. So we are in the Gnome Stronghold. I'll open up the world map so you can see exactly where I am. We are just northeast of the bank, just south of the Terrorbird enclosure. You can get here a variety of ways. The easiest way is probably going to be either the Royal Seed Pod if you have that, or if you have the Spirit Trees unlocked and just running north. All we're going to be doing is picking up these king worms and these swamp toads. Does seem like they are around 500 to 600 each on the Grand Exchange, so we're going to see if that's right. All we're going to do is we're going to load up our inventory. We've got nothing in there right now, and we're going to do this for about a half hour and see what kind of money we can make. Alright, so it's been about a half hour of collecting these worms and frogs, swamp toads, not frogs. We're going to check these in. Let's see what we can look at. Oh, 100k, say less. Let's go see if we can actually get 100k out of this. Okay, so we were right on target, actually. Checked them in for more than the guide prices for the king worms and the swamp toads, and so 30 minutes of work, 100k. Pretty easy stuff. So great, no requirement method, just gathering up a little bit. If you're in a pinch, you need a little bit of cash, this is an easy way to do it. So for this next method, we are going to be making Ultracompost, and it only requires two things, well, three things. You need about 250k. You can do we're going to buy super compost and volcanic ash. So to create Ultra Compost, which is the best compost to protect your herbs and any other crops, we're going to use Super Compost, and then you add 2 volcanic ash per Super Compost. So we're basically just going to add volcanic ash to Super Compost and then resell the new Ultra Compost on the Grand Exchange, and we're going to see how much money we can make with that. I just bought the volcanic ash and the super compost. The really nice thing about this method is that the volcanic ash is stackable, so you really only need to take inventory space up for the super compost, so it should go pretty quick. We are just going to use the volcanic ash on the super compost, and boom, we have ultra compost. With this margin, we are looking at 151 coins per super compost. We're gonna do 500 and see what we end up with. We just got done with our 500 ultra composts. I probably could have done more in the time I gave myself. I didn't know how quick or how not quick it was going to be, really. You could easily get done probably 2,000 if you were really paying attention and not AFKing too much on this method. We're going to chuck these into the Grand Exchange and we're going to see what we can get. So we did have to spend 350 on our super compost because we got to 88 at 336 and then they just stopped buying. So I'm very quickly going to check the margins on this ultra compost, and we're going to see if we can't just slow sell them. It's not the most ideal thing, but we're going to try to eke out a little bit extra profit here. It's at 610, so we're going to go to 610 and we're going to just like let these slow buy. I think we just picked an unfortunate time to sell these because it does look like it took a dip just 15 minutes ago, like when we started this method. So it is unfortunate, but you know, them's the breaks. Our ultra compost did sell pretty quickly. We only really had to wait about 10 minutes. By my calculations, we made just over 73k. And that's just 500 of them. So if you were to do, let's say 2,000 an hour, then you could end up with around 300k an hour. And it's a really small cost investment, and you are able to make a good amount of money just really with no requirements. Again, that's the biggest thing. You can go collect spider's eggs, you can go collect ashes, you can go do a bunch of nonsense and come up with, you know, 200 to 500k pretty easily, and then from there you can just add on top of your profit. Alright, thanks so much guys for watching, and I hope these money making methods were helpful. I did want to include farming on this, but I am planning on making another video that should hopefully be out next week. It is going to be a guide from level 1 to making passive income with farming. It's a really nice skill to have on the account, and the more I tried to talk about it quickly and succinctly, the more little minutia came up about how to get the most out of your herb patches and things like that. But I'll get into that in the farming video. I hope this video was helpful. I hope it helped you make some money, and I look forward to seeing you in future videos. If you have any other ideas for me, please let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Happy scaping.